Boom! Chickity chickity chanka. How's it going, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little transfer video for you today. I hope you're doing well. Shout out to you all for stopping by. Let's see who we've got in here. I can see Becky Hope. How's it going, Becky? Mr. K009. Archie. Hello to you, my friend. Munib Siddiqui. Umar Fatikia. Ellie. Victor Davies. Jonathan Gallagher. KM Ali. What's going on, lads and lasses? Thank you so much to you all for stopping by and getting in here today. Do us a favour, smash us a like on the video if you have not done so already, and get your thoughts and opiniones in as we go along, lads and lasses. Right then, so we've got a bit of a transfer show for you today. Of course, we do these transfer shows every single day. Today, we're talking about all the latest Manchester United transfer news. There's a surprise. And do you know what? This morning, Manchester United are being linked with a completely new player, Uros Rakic. Uros Rakic. Who, you know, he's 22 years of age, he was born in 1998. He looks a lot older than that, to be fair. He looks like he's about 30. But he's a Serbian central midfielder in the similar sort of same mould as a Nemanja Matic, supposedly. He's, you know, played for, I don't know if he's in part of, I think he's played for the Serbian under-21 side. He is a Valencia player. He was on loan at Famalicão in Portugal for some of the season this year. And and we are being linked with a new player, lads and lasses. So there's some reports. Let me just read these reports here. I mean, taken with a pinch of salt, obviously. United report here on Twitter saying, Valencia sources have confirmed that Manchester United's interest in midfielder Uros Rakic, and that the club have been in contact with his representatives. So, bit of breaking news for you here, lads and lasses, if you want to call it that, which is, it's understood that Valencia sources have confirmed Manchester United's interest in midfielder Uros Rakic, and that the club have been in contact with his representatives. Uros Rakic, let's give you a bit of a background on Uros Rakic then. So, like I say, he is a Serbian international. Or under 21, actually. I'm not even sure if he's in there. I would imagine he's got to be in, I don't know, actually. I can't see it say, I don't think he's had any first team caps for Serbia here. I could be wrong on that one. But he's a tall guy. He's 1.93 meters, which what's that, about 6'3" or something? Maybe 6'4", I don't know. He's quite a tall lad. Like I say, he's a defensive midfielder. He's a destructive midfielder. He is a player that is similar to that of Nemanja Matic in the fact that he's big and he's Serbian and he's hard. And he's hard. He looks hard. Have you seen him in the thumbnail? He looks bloody hard. 6'4", says Charlie MUFC. Thank you very much for that, dude. 6'4". So he's obviously a bit of a unit here. He looks like a bit of a bruiser. And look, if he could be the next Nemanja Matic or somebody like that for Serbia and whichever club he's playing for, they'd be getting themselves a very good player over the next decade, wouldn't they? Because Nemanja Matic has obviously over his career been absolutely sensational at times. The last couple of years at United, not so good. I blame it a lot on that Jose Mourinho meltbag. He's done better over the last 6 months, but you know the point I'm making is, you know, it's obviously early days for this guy's career. We can't compare him to Nemanja Matic, but this is a 22-year-old player who's coming up in the game, who's of course at Valencia, and it will be featuring in the Serbian national team as things go forward, we'd imagine here. He's look, I don't know anything about this guy, guys. I don't know anything about this guy. Like I say, he was on loan at Famalicão in Portugal from Valencia this last 1920 season. Before that, you know, he was at Famalicão, I think. I don't really know. CD Tenerife. Look, he's not exactly had the most sparkling of careers up until this point, everyone. I'm not going to lie. So this transfer link, it doesn't really fill me with that much confidence or that much sort of excitement, because at the end of the day, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? Honestly, I mean, look, fair enough. It actually sounds like a good signing. Somebody may know something about him that we don't know. And like I say, 22 years of age, if he's being likened to that of Nemanja Matic, I would say that fair play is probably going to turn out to be quite a good player. 22 years of age, destructive midfielder, big, tall, bit of a unit. It's what United need. What United need right now is a bit of defensive guile in the midfield. We have spent money this season already on midfielders. We've got Donny van der Beek come in there. We've got excess midfielders, if anything. You know, we've got Fred, McTominay, Pogba, van der Beek, Bruno, Matic. So this guy coming in, what's that really going to do for Manchester United's midfield? It's just going to fanny things up, isn't it? It's just going to give us too many players in that position. But What's wrong with having depth? What's wrong with having a player to go on and take over from Nemanja Matic in the future when Nemanja Matic gets too old and frail to continue? We've obviously signed Nemanja Matic up for a new contract recently anyway. I mean, look, if this guy can go on and maybe do something and be a potential Nemanja Matic replacement, that sounds good. We need a bit of defensive bottle in the midfield. I've been saying this for years. We need to get somebody like a Kante, somebody like an Ndidi, somebody who's got some proper defensive qualities in there to just break things up for us and allow the rest of the creative midfield options we've got to create. So there you go, lads and lasses. Bit interesting. It's quite an interesting little story that's just come out here. We're interested in Rakic. It's understood that he has a release clause of £92 million. £92 million. But let's not pretend that that's legitimate because he's a 22-year-old Serbian unknown player, really. And it says that Valencia, you know, will probably be open to somewhere more in the region of 25 to 30 million pounds because of the financial crisis that Valencia are in. So, look, this is another one of those cat and mouse situations, guys. We've been linked with a lot of players, but if the situation happens with Jadon Sancho where we don't get him over the line, where that doesn't happen, which is looking more increasingly likely that we will fail in the pursuit of Sancho, certainly in this window. Well, not certainly. There's still a possibility. I would like to be surprised and see on Sky Sports or whatever, done deal, signed, Jadon Sancho is coming to United. But it's looking less increasingly likely. So that opens the door for other signings. It opens the door for Solskjaer and, of course, Woodward on the board to spend the next week or a couple of weeks, because remember, the window is open to the 4th of October, trying to go and get different recruits, trying to get different players, rather than putting all your eggs in the Jadon Sancho basket. If that deal breaks down, then you're looking at other options, aren't you? You're looking at Sergio Reguilon. You're looking at a centre-back. Maybe it's Badiashile. Maybe it's Upamecano. You're looking at a player like Rakic as a central defensive midfielder. You're looking at a player like Thiago if he's not just using us to get a bigger money move to Liverpool or whatnot. You're looking at all these different players suddenly if Jadon Sancho is not going to be a Manchester United player, because all these players are available. All these players are available for reasonable amounts of money. They would all add something to United's side, whether that would be a lot or a little. And somebody like Rakic, who I don't know anything about, I'd still rather we got somebody with potential than nobody at all. It's as simple as that. I'd much rather we get somebody who's got the ability to grow and learn and who looks good so far in his career. 22 years of age. I mean, look, that's where I'm on it. If we don't get Sancho, we should go and get some players like this. We should make some gambles, make some educated gambles, get some players in the door to help Solskjaer this season and give us more depth in the squad. So I'm not sad about this link about Rakic. You might think, who the fuck is that guy? You might think that, and that's true. But it's better to be linked with him than nobody at all in my eyes, because this United transfer window was a joke so far. By the way, there's a bunch of you legends tuning in here. How are you all doing? Thank you so much for stopping by and getting involved. Please do us a favour and smash a thumbs up on this video if you have not done so already. Please do chuck a little cheeky like on the vid. It will help the stream out tremendously. And also, as I always say, make sure you do get involved as we go along. When we cover each little topic today, we will jump back in and out and have a look at your thoughts and opinions on it. So let's get your thoughts and opinions in about Rakic. Do you think we should go and sign a player like, what's his name? I want to say that his name's Nemanja Rakic. That's what I'm going to call him from now on, but it's not. It's Uros. He sounds like more of a Greek player. Uros Rakic or something. He sounds like maybe a Greek, but he's actually a Serbian, and his name is Uros Rakic. So, or maybe it's pronounced Euros. I don't really know. Euros Rakic. Maybe, but certainly I want to call him Nemanja Rakic. It just feels like that fits, you know what I mean? So yeah, well, that's what I want to call him. But anyway, what do you guys think about it? Get your thoughts and opinions in. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think that Manchester United should go ahead and sign this unknown 22-year-old Serbian defensive midfielder. Certainly I don't know anything about him anyway. Maybe some of you guys will. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think that we should go and get him. I mean, it's not going to be a lot of money, really, because he is not a very well-known player. And Valencia are not in a good financial position at the moment, by all accounts. So there's every possibility that that they would accept a good offer for a player like him. Ibrahim Barry, thank you for getting in here with your vote. Seaborn Gracias as well. Mark O says, 1, get him in. Yes, my lad. Ibrahim Barry. Yes. Victor Davies, Charlie, MUFC Saint, Mrs. P Cake Bandit. Oh, I missed the super chat, did I, guys? Sorry. Well, thank you very much for that. I apologise. Really appreciate that, guys. I can't see it at the moment. Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, sorry, Son Goku Ian 97. You top lad. I am very sorry for missing your super chat there, dude. I got carried away. So here we go. Son Goku comments. He says, Pig, I am genuinely so sick. So sick of love songs, so sad. Anyway, so sick of Man United's transfers that I'm getting the whiskey out and drinking myself away the pain. Drink the pain away, drink the pain away. No, fair enough to you there, Son Goku at 97, mate. I don't blame you, my friend. It's one of those painful windows. I hear you, my friend. I wouldn't mind a cheeky little shot of the Glenfiddich right now myself. But to be honest with you, Son Goku, I just want to say thank you so much for your super chat there. I'm sick of it as well, mate. I almost had a bit of an outburst rage session talking about transfers yesterday on the show. Definitely started that video less stressed than I did come the end of it. I was just like wound up by the transfer saga at Manchester United. So I hear you, bro. It's an absolute wind up. Jack Kick with the 1 vote. Okay, 1 vote is plenty enough for you, Jack Kick. IR Sunday, how you doing, IRA Sunday? He says, hello, big man. Today is my birthday. Please wish me a happy birthday. IRA Sunday, mate. It's a shame that it's not Sunday today. That would have been even more fitting. But it is your birthday. Everyone stick a birthday cake in the live chat for IRA. Happy birthday, mate. Right then. Okay, so Kabaki HD, how you doing? He says, Pig, what is the Rakic news? Okay, so the Rakic news, mate. Manchester United are interested in Rakic, and he has a... We understand Valencia would probably consider selling him for about 25 to 30 million pounds because of their financial crisis at the moment. There's reports coming out. Valencia sources have confirmed that Manchester United's interested midfielder Uroš Rakic, and that the club have been in contact with his representatives. So it's understood that Manchester United have been in contact with Uroš Rakic representatives for a potential transfer to Manchester United this summer. This one's coming a little bit out of left wing. I'm not going to lie on that one. I mean, look, this is the first we've heard about it today, but it's a link, and Manchester United are certainly trying to get a suitable replacement going forward for somebody like Nemanja Matic. I mean, we've got Van der Beek in, but I mean, I think he's a different type of player to Matic. Obviously, he's much more creative. Matic was more of that defensive sort of enforcer, a defensive enforcer. And that's exactly what this guy is. Uroš Rakic is another defensive enforcer in the central defensive midfield. He's maybe a little bit more box-to-box from what I've read. Maybe a little bit more box-to-box than Nemanja Matic, but certainly very good in the defensive department. Like we say, he is a physical unit. He's built like a Serbian brick shithouse, just like most of them are, to be fair. So, yeah, I think Nemanja, if he's in that mould, that would be fantastic for United to look at least. 22, young, getting better, fits in with the whole philosophy of what Solskjaer and the lads are trying to do at United, bringing in the right sort of young, hungry players. Soon if Christopher says, happy birthday Sunday. No, it's not his birthday on Sunday, it's his birthday today, mate. I'm just joking. Happy birthday, IRA Sunday. Great name, by the way. So yes, get your thoughts and opinions in about Rakic. Mr. K009 says, like a Nemanja Vidic. Well, he's not a centre-back, he's a midfielder, but I hear you. He's Serbian, he's hard, he's big, he's tough. He is like Nemanja Vidic in that sense. He is like Nemanja Matic in that sense. So, look, I must admit, I do like Manchester United having a Serbian player. It just feels right. After Vidic, it feels spot on. It's just a shame that he's not also called Nemanja. Like I say, if his name was Nemanja Rakic, that would be much more fitting. After Vidic and, of course, Matic. But there you go. I mean, Uroš Rakic, not Rakitic, Rakic. Uroš Rakic is being heavily linked with a move to Manchester United. Valencia sources have confirmed Manchester United's interest in midfielder Uroš Rakic, and that the club have been in contact with his representatives. So do that with what you will, lads and lasses. Supposedly 25 to 30 million pounds. He has a release clause in there of 92 million, but Valencia may be interested because he's on, because they're having a little bit of financial crisis at the moment, my friends. So let's give you a little bit more background on him. Thank you for everybody who's getting in here. Please do smash a like on the vid. Adfilling Skills says, Pig, when are you doing a Q&A again? I'll be doing a Q&A at the end of the vid, but if you mean like a standalone edited Q&A. I haven't done one of those for a while, have I? I have to do that soon. So I'll have a look at that. No Bones Jones, how's it going? CR7, Paddy ZA, IRA Sunday, no worries to you, my friend. JW92, Matt Wales, Damien Clark, Hunar, Marco, Ali Banner Hashem, Stipmeister, Hugo Blaze, Jack Kick, Mrs. P Cake Bandit, Nick M, Son Goku Ian 97, Ryan Berber Spin 9, and Jamie Loki Jones, Jesse Lingard as well. FC United forever. Legends, thank you so much to every single one of you that's getting in here. Please do hit that like button and get involved. Son Goku, I will try and find that, my friend. People keep asking me for this so-called membership link. And I'm going to be honest with you, mate. I haven't got a bloody clue what people are on about. But let me see if I can find it, because I thought you just clicked a join button on YouTube and then that joined you. But let me just have a quick look for you anyway, Son Goku. Big up there, seriously. Alec Williams, yes, lad. Great to see you in here, Alec Williams. He says, hello again, my friend. Shout out to you, my friend. Shout out to you and all the other channel members as well in here. All the channel members, stick your favourite channel member emoji in the live chat there. Yeah, nice one. Hey, guess what? I've got it. Let me go back. Hey, check it out. I think I've got this, lads and lasses. Yeah, I think I've actually got this. Let me just wait a second. Here. Why can't I get into the live chat now? That's fine. Okay, I've got it. Brilliant stuff. I've got the membership link, Son Goku Ian 97. If you actually want it, I think I've got it, mate. Yes, boom. I've just whacked it in the live chat there, lads and lasses, for you anyway. Don't worry about that there. Let's get back on with the show. Thank you very much for you all for stopping by. Let's get back into this player then and give you a bit of a background on what sort of a player he is. Uros Rakic. So we're weighing it up at the moment. We're weighing up making a bid. We've understood to have contacted the player and his representatives. He spent last season on loan in Portugal at a club called Famalicão, which, sorry, I mean, again, I like to think of myself as having a pretty good, pretty exceptional, well, no, pretty good history and knowledge of football teams. But who the bloody hell are Famalicão in Portugal? I've never heard of them. But anyway, they must be, I'm guessing they're in the top league. He made 33 appearances in all competitions. Hey, Son Goku Ian 97, mate. Shout out to you, buddy, for becoming a member of the Bacon Brigade. You legend. And shout out Sunif Christopher for subscribing. But Son Goku Ian 97, the latest member of the Bacon Brigade. Give him a warm welcome, everybody. You top lad. Thank you so much for that, dude. So there you go. All I had to do was put that link in the live chat. It turns out that isn't on YouTube, and everybody, everybody can join. Crikey. Thank you, Son Goku, mate. Absolute legend. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard the Bacon train. Right then, so 33 appearances in all competitions for Famalicão in Portugal. And he contributed 3 goals and an assist. But like I say, don't worry about that. He still scored 3 goals. I mean, the fact of the matter is he is a defensive midfielder in the mould of a Nemanja Matic. Shout out to Sar Vulon for subscribing as well. He's definitely in that mould. And so in terms of creation, in terms of goals, don't look at those statistics at all, because he's a destructive defensive midfielder mainly. He's 22 years of age. He came off the bench as Valencia beat Levante 4-2 in their La Liga opener on Sunday. And he made his debut in the first team then. So that's the first time he's actually played for Valencia in their first team. So look, at the end of the day, this is a young player who's inexperienced, who's just had a season-long loan at Famalicão in Portugal, who the fuck are they, and just made his debut against Valencia. So don't expect that even if United do go and get this player, that we're getting a Nemanja Matic, or that we're getting a proper ready-made central defensive midfielder, because he seems good, but he's 22 and he's very inexperienced. He doesn't have top-level experienced football here at all. But as I say, he's labelled as the new Nemanja Matic. So quite interesting. He's playing for the Serbian under-21 international side, but he's not really sort of settled in Valencia from what we understand here. So there's every possibility that he wants to leave the football club and go to pastures greener. Potentially pastures redder in terms of Manchester United. At the end of the day, he's a reasonably priced player that could potentially be the long-term replacement for Nemanja Matic. So because of that, he does become quite a decent sort of prospect, really, because Matic is old. And, it's only the last 6 months I've ever really seen enough of a good, consistent level from Matic in the United shirt anyway. But he's getting old. We do need a replacement for him. Look, we don't even know what's happening with Paul Pogba in the long term either. So people keep talking about, oh, Manchester United have got too many midfielders. Again, we're strengthening in an area potentially that is unnecessary for Manchester United to strengthen in right now. We've got more pressing issues. We have the right wing, the centre-back position and all this stuff. And that is all true, but it doesn't hurt to have a bit of forward future planning in the side either. Matic is getting older. Pogba could be sold. We don't know what happens with Paul Pogba. It depends on this season. If Paul Pogba gets selected every single game, alongside, say, Van der Beek or Matic and in behind Bruno, then you're going to see, obviously, we're going to see if it's going to be a successful time for Paul Pogba. This is the make or break now for Pogba, really. We've probably said that every single bloody season about Paul Pogba, but I think this is the make or break season because there's no messing around now. United's team's improving. We've got good players around you now, Paul. You've got to start performing and start doing the business for United consistently on a week-to-week basis. Otherwise, see you later on, son. You're off to Juventus, mate, or Real Madrid, or wherever the hell we'll have him. And there are clubs that would definitely have him because he's a great player. But he has to consistently do it for United to warrant that place in the squad. And in the end, he may end up getting sold and leave Manchester United for a big amount of money, 70, 80, 90 million pounds, whatever it may be, to prize Paul Pogba away from United in this current climate. So that is actually a possibility. That could happen. Who knows when that can happen? Probably not this summer, but it could do. I doubt it, though. I think it will very much be on the cards later in the year, though. Or at the end of the season. I think absolutely it's a possibility. It gets talked about every single transfer window that Paul Pogba may be leaving. So look, there's a possibility for Woodward and co to generate a little bit of cash. We all know that the Glazers are scum when it comes to taking money out of this football club. In fact, you've probably seen some reports that come out recently, which I will get into in a little bit later in the show in regards to United being one of the very worst teams in terms of overall money being taken out of the club. It's no surprise in the Premier League we're right down the bottom of the table for the most amount of money taken out by our owners. Sickening bastards. Mrs. P, the cake bandit, has just become a member of the Bacon Brigade as well. Finally, she's done it. Mrs. P, thank you very much for getting in here and joining the Bacon Brigade. Everybody, welcome Mrs. P to the Bacon Brigade with your favourite Bacon Brigade emoji. Nice one, Mrs. P. Nice one as well. Hey, Absalom Williams guy. Oh my days. Thank you so much, Absalom Williams, as well, for getting in here and becoming a member of the Bacon Brigade. It's all kicking off on the channel, lads and lasses. Thank you, Absalom, for becoming a member, mate. It's absolutely brilliant to have you on board. And Mrs. P, get in there, guys. Welcome to the Bacon Brigade. Yes, you legends. Thank you, everyone. Seriously, everyone who's joined the membership of this channel. Definitely helps us continue to do what we do a little bit. So appreciate every single one of you that does do that. Thank you very, very much. Right then. Okay, so yes. In terms of lining up future transfers as well, it's all dependent on Jadon Sancho. We keep mentioning that because it's so very true. If Man United were to go and get Jadon Sancho now and meet Dortmund's valuation of 120 million euros for him, we're not going to get the other players we're talking about in this window, whether it's Thiago or Bale or, obviously not Bale, but Thiago or this guy, Rakic or Badiashile or Upamecano or Reguilon or Telles or any of the other players, to Adama Traore, Ousmane Dembele, Kingsley Coman, any of the other players that we're being linked to. We're being linked to the world and his dog, basically. But we won't get any of the other players if we get Sancho. We might get Reguilon. We might get one other bargain player. But we probably won't get the other players if we get Sancho, because I don't see us spending hundreds of millions in this window, lads and lasses. So there you go. It's interesting, isn't it? In regards to Paul Pogba as well, Rio Ferdinand came out and he sort of said, he was talking to BBC Radio 5 Live, he said, it's a big question. Listen, if you say you're going to play your best players in the midfield and you're going to play three, then you would say Paul Pogba playing in the holding role and Fernandes and Van der Beek being the guys that are playing around that, a bit more free and able to move around and create. So I understand what he's saying there. So he's saying that Pogba in the holding role and then Fernandes and Van der Beek. So obviously you've got Bruno in front and Van der Beek sort of box to box. That's what Rio Ferdinand's saying. But I personally disagree with that. I don't really think of Paul Pogba as the holding midfielder, no. With two in front of him, if anything, or one alongside him and two in front with him being the defensive-minded midfielder, no. I personally do not see that. So I don't really agree with Rio Ferdinand there. But he says, listen, if you're saying you're going to play Paul Pogba, then of course, in a holding role, Fernandes and Van der Beek being the guys that are playing around that, a bit more free and able to move around and create. Is that Paul Pogba's best position? I would argue not, but you have to look at what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to do. Does he want his players on the pitch, or is he talking about players fitting in a system? I think that's the intriguing part for me going into the season from Man United's perspective in terms of the signing they have made, is that player. Is he just going to be named as one of the best players in the team and he's going to play? Or are we going to say we want the system for the players to fit into? It's a big call and it remains to be seen, but I still think Manchester United will have some sort of movement and there will be additions in this squad going into the season. If not the first week, the second or third, which is gash-tastic. We shouldn't be making signings while the season's underway. We should have got it all done up nice and early. But I agree with what Rio said there in the sense that he says Paul Pogba's best position is not the defensive midfielder role or the holding midfielder role. It's definitely not his best position. We all think that his best position is CAM, because when he's played for Manchester United in that hole, he has been fantastic in the past in certain spells throughout his club career here. But now we got Bruno. He's not the best position in that position, not the best player in that position for us. So screw that. Not playing Pogba instead of Bruno. That's an absolute joke. But as the holding midfielder, I just don't like that. Look, Van der Beek, actually, I was quite impressed with his display against Villa. I think he's got some good defensive abilities. I will say this, and I'll say it again now. Maybe, if you're talking about the system that Manchester United have and what we played the majority of last season, which is with sort of two holding midfielders and that one player in front in Bruno with a back four, a 4-2-3-1. If you're going with that, which I'm not sure if we are going with, because like Rio said, maybe we'll be going with like a 4-1-2-3-1 or something like that with a holding player and two more roaming midfielders, something like that. But if you're going with the 4-2-3-1, then Nemanja Matic is probably the best player to partner Paul Pogba still at this moment in time. I know he's aging, but if you're talking about you want to have a proper holding defensive-minded midfielder, then Matic is the best option that we've got out of those midfielders at the moment. So I don't know whether Solskjaer's going to opt to play for Matic and Pogba with Bruno in front, or he's going to opt to play Matic with Pogba and Bruno in front, or he's going to opt to play Van der Beek and Pogba and Bruno in front, or he's going to opt to play Matic and Van der Beek with Bruno in front. You know, there's lots of different combinations and variations that we could put out there and that we could potentially see. And that is no bad thing. That's why I say it's good to have depth in an area out there on the pitch. And we have got depth in the midfield now. We're even talking about maybe adding Rakic to the depth of this team. And still Thiago is a possibility. I still think you'll end up at a different football club because you know, just the situation that Manchester United is maybe not of attractive to a player like Thiago, such as Liverpool or Barcelona at this moment in time. That's the only reason. So yeah, but having all those players in that area would give us supreme depth. It would give us so many different options. Sometimes you might want a defensive holding midfielder and to have two really creative players going box to box in front of him. Or other times you might want two defensive-minded midfielders. You might want Matic. You might want Van der Beek. You might want Matic. You might want Rakic. Matic and Rakic, the Serbian connection in midfield just sounds good. I don't even know anything about this Rakic guy, really. But apparently Rakic's idol is Paul Pogba. So apparently Rakic's idol is Paul Pogba. So that's who he idolises the most of the game, from what we understand. So he'd be absolutely loving the chance of playing for Manchester United alongside Paul. Probably. Rudy back, how you doing, Rue? He says, link to everyone, signing no one. That's sort of the summary of Manchester United's window at the moment, everyone. So yeah, so let's get into it then. What do you think about Paul Pogba? We've just talked about Paul Pogba and the possibility of these players coming in, whether it's Rakic, and what should be the combination of this midfield. Rio Ferdinand thinks that Paul Pogba on paper is the biggest name that gets on the field. He gets on the field in the holding role. That's what Rio was saying. I personally disagree with that. But what do you guys think? Do you think that Paul Pogba should be given the starting berth in the side along with another, you know, whoever combination? Give me it straight. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think Pogba is a starter in this current midfield. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think Pogba is a starter in this midfield. Hey, Gungshi's in the gaff. What's going on, the Gunganator? He says, hi, everyone. Great to see you in here, Gungshi. How's your day going, matey? Hope you're good, buddy. Gus Smith in here as well says Pogba is essential to our midfield, but more attacking. I agree. I think he is a great player. I mean, I love the combination with him and Bruno towards the end of last year. I love his range of passing. He's sensational when he's on his day. And I think that really Paul Pogba absolutely has a place in this Man United side. But let's not rule out the possibility that at some point in the future he might move away from this football club. Whether it's United looking to get more different type of players and different midfielders and maybe more consistent players, cheaper players, wouldn't surprise me with our board, and cash in on Paul Pogba to try and finance different improvements in areas of the team. Wouldn't surprise me either. So get your thoughts in. Jim Joe Bobley says 1, Stephen T.Y. 1, Bruno Kovacevic 1, Gus Smith, Matthew Adateo 1, MK009 1, Shaky DDG 1, Aaron Homeyard, how's it going, mate? 1, Eddie A, how you doing, buddy? 1. So look, every single one of you, apart from Marco here. Marco is a is an outlier here. Jamie Loki-Jones as well. You guys don't think that Pogba gets in the starting midfield berth, right? Fair play. I mean, I currently think that he does. And it's not just based on reputation, but like I said, I think the best midfield United could play right now. And look, this is also based on me not knowing 100% about how Donny van de Beek is going to progress and play. I was really impressed with his game against Aston Villa. I thought he was the best player on the pitch for us. I did. So that really fills me with confidence and a bit of hope for what he's going to do. And hopefully he can force Pogba out the team or force Matic out the team. But I think the best starting 11 for United the starting midfield position for United in a 4-2-3-1 anyway. Never mind a different system if it's a 4-1-2-3-1 or something else, but a 4-2-3-1, Matic, Pogba, Bruno. It's not changed for me, really. McTominay and Fred are still good squad players. They're still going to come in and do jobs here and there and still going to have bags of energy when they come on the pitch. And you've also got Donny van de Beek there who can probably do a bit of everything. I was very impressed with the creation he showed in that game against Villa. And of course, if you look at his stats, his assists and goals over for Ajax in the Eredivisie, up until this point, he has been doing very, very good stuff, creating things, putting up very good numbers, respectable numbers. So to me, Donny van de Beek's got the ability to play pretty much any way you want him to, really. I mean, the way he was going forward in that Villa game and having a really good impact in the final third with his through balls and his little flicks and his penetration that he displayed, I would say he could even play in the hole himself. He could play CM, he could play box-to-box midfielder, he could play a central defensive midfielder even, as a deep-lying playmaker, because I enjoyed his range of passing, I enjoyed how confident he was on the ball. I enjoyed that Paul Scholes vision that he seems to have. And I don't just mean Paul Scholes vision with the ball and the execution of the pass and all that sort of stuff. I mean actually keeping hold of the ball. Like, he can see the danger coming from him. He doesn't panic. He doesn't play a loose pass. He doesn't play a hurried pass. No, he just turns around. He shields the ball. He finds the right pass. Paul Scholes was the master at that. You know, it's one of those techniques in football people don't talk about, because all you're doing is turning your back to the player, shielding the ball and passing it away from you. But it's better to do that and keep hold of possession than it is to try and force a pass through an angle or an alley that's not there and lose the ball. So that's what Paul Scholes was the master of. He made the right decision at the right time. And I saw Donny van de Beek doing those same things. It's early days to report and say that Donny van de Beek's going to be the next Paul Scholes. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying there's a few sort of similarities there. You could play Donny van de Beek as a deep-lying playmaker, as that quarterback, spraying the balls out. You can play Pogba and Bruno as these marauding midfielders. There's a lot of different combinations. You're not just stuck with Nemanja Matic now. It depends how Solskjaer wants to play. If he wants that proper destructive defensive midfielder, then Matic is your man. But Van de Beek can do a bit of that too, and he's got that incredible vision. He's got that range of pass. He's got that creation. It just gives us creation and hopefully the ability to dictate a game, how we want to do it and how we want to possess the football in terms of football, you know, keeping hold of it and not giving the ball away so much. It gives us more options there, I think. Whereas Matic, although he has got a good range of passing, and actually towards the end of last season he was creating things for us, Van de Beek just already seems like obviously a better passer of the ball, better creative player. That's why we've got him in here. So it's interesting, isn't it, guys? Chris Chandra says Donny in, Pogba out. So there you go. Everybody seemed to say when we had a vote a minute ago that Pogba should be starting in this team. It's interesting. Get your thoughts and opinions about this. Who would you start in the team? Matic, Pogba, Bruno. Obviously, don't even talk about Bruno. He's obviously starting. Do us a favour, lads and lasses. There's 350 of you legends tuning in. Thank you so much for stopping by and getting in here with today's transfer news video. Smash a thumbs up on this video if you have not done so already. That will help this stream out loads and help us compete with the big channels and stuff. So do smash the like out of it. And also get involved as we go along. I want to hear from you guys, see what you guys think about anything we're talking about here. Kayak says, I've gone on my other account because someone is framing me. That doesn't sound good, mate. Hot Shot, how you doing there? Hot Shot, he says, Johnny Big Dake. Jazzman, what's going on, Jazzman? Walter as well, how you doing, Walter Clothier? He says, Pogba's the man. France Jacobs, he says, what's up? How you doing, France Jacobs? Rajon says, keep both on 4-3-3. Interesting idea there. If I don't understand, I don't really see Solskjaer doing that, though. Maybe we will play a bit of 4-3-3 action, but yeah, that is an option, actually. It would make quite a lot of sense to accommodate some of the players we've got on this side by doing that. The United Way, how you doing, United Way? Thank you very much for getting in here. By the way, Ellie says, happy birthday to her, Nicola. I hope she's having a wonderful day and she manages to keep her cake safe from you. By the way, Ellie's an absolute legend. She sent my missus over a birthday gift yesterday on PayPal. It wasn't even her birthday. She thought it was her birthday. And anyway, she's adamant she doesn't want it back. She's an absolute gem, is Ellie. So thank you, Ellie. Thank you, everybody else as well, for stopping by. Smash that thumbs up if you're just getting in here, everyone. Leave a cheeky little like on it. Ryan Sebastian Vanna says, should Bale join us? Bale should join us if it's an option where if he's our fifth option. He's not our first option or our second option or our third option. He's the guy you go to when every other thing has fallen to shit. He's the other one that's available as a backup, basically. And yes, we should get him. If we can't get a winger, if we can't get Sancho, if we can't get Adama, if we can't get Dembele, if we can't get Coman, if we can't get anyone, if we can't get any of the players we're linked with, then yes, I would take Gareth Bale on loan in a heartbeat, even if he is an injury-prone prima donna melt, because he's still a quality player. He's still only 31. He still probably wants to get away from Real Madrid and play some football before he bloody retires from the game, I'd imagine. And a season at Manchester United could offer him everything that he wants, really. It's away from Madrid. It's back in the UK. It's, it makes a lot of sense for Gareth Bale. It really does. And it makes sense for United to go and get him on a season-long loan if there's no transfer fee and there's no real risk other than the weekly wages you're paying him, which in order to get him in, United wouldn't pay 600 grand a week for Bale like Real Madrid do. No way. They would have to pay a percentage of his wages for us to get him anyway. So the only way it happens is if we pay a maximum of, I would imagine, 400 grand a week, probably closer to 350 or something like that for him, and Real Madrid pay the rest. Now you're saying that's mad. Why would United pay 400k a week for Bale? He's one of the biggest name players, one of the most winningest players that there has been in the last decade as well, in terms of what he's achieved in the game. And he's a fantastic player on his day. I would say he's one of the world's best on his day. When you get him mentally right, when he's motivated, happy, confident, all that stuff, fit, more importantly, not injured. Gareth Bale is a machine, guys. He's an absolute machine. So I would want him at the football club as a season-long loan, even if it's 400 grand a week you're paying him. Is that really that much of a gamble when he's cost you nothing and he's pissing off back to Real Madrid at the end of the season anyway? I don't think it is. So that's my opinion on it. I know a lot of you guys disagree and you think, no, absolutely not, no way, Bale. And I agree with you if we can get somebody else that fits the bill more of what we're trying to do, like getting a player such as an Adama who's 23 and is getting better and looks good and is a good prospect for the future and is doing the business now for Wolves in the league that we are playing in. That would be a good option, but he's going to cost 60 million. Wolves don't want to sell him, no way. There's all talks of all other players. Kingsley Coman, yeah, Bayern have just got Sane. They've got other players in those positions as well, Naby and these guys, but they don't want to sell. They're probably not going to want to sell him again. He's going to cost a lot of money again. So you go down the list. Sancho, 120 million. Can we get the deal done? You go down the list, and each answer becomes less than to the point where you get to Gareth Bale, and it becomes, you know what? He actually does make a lot of sense now because of the no transfer fee and all that stuff. Jamie Loki Jones says, I really want a pint with Pig. Could talk for hours. So underrated on YouTube. Dude, thank you very much. I literally do talk for hours on here, mate. But really appreciate you saying you want a pint with me, mate. Very, very nice of you. I personally don't know you at all. But I'd like to think you'd be nice to have a pint with. Gungshi says, if Bale can stay fit, he'd be... Oh, sorry, 2 seconds. He'd be great. It depends. I agree with you, Gungshi. It's all about his mentality and his fitness concerns, really. He seems to have a bit of a, what would you say, jovial attitude over there in Real Madrid. I know the fans have been on his back and they've made his life pretty much hellish over there in terms of what they expect from him and just how they treat him. I know the board, I know the owners have said a lot of bad things about Bale. I know that the manager has frozen him out. So Bale's not having a good time over there. He's not good. He's not high on the confidence. He's not in form. There's no form to speak of there. So it's a risk. It's a gamble. It's a risk. And he is injury prone. He's always in and out the physio room. So we know that about him. It's probably he's got a bit of like golfer's shoulder or whatever they call it. You know what I mean? From being out on the golf course all the bloody time. The last thing we need is another Alexis Sanchez. I've been going over this. We do not need to get a prima donna in here who doesn't want to play for United, who doesn't really care about their football anymore, who's just coming for the money. You know why I think it would be different with Alexis Sanchez, though? To Alexis Sanchez and Gareth Bale, is because Gareth Bale has actually hinted and said that he would like to be open to coming to Manchester United and the Premier League, and he wants to play football. That's what he said. He is getting 600 grand a week at the moment, regardless of whether he goes on loan to Manchester United or not. He can stay and play on the golf course in Spain. They've got lovely golf courses out there. He can chill and do what he wants and play for Real Madrid as and when they need him, if they ever use him again, and collect that 600k whether he's rotting on the sidelines or not. So it's not really, I don't think it's a money motivation for me if Bale Bale does genuinely want to come to United. I truly do not think it's a money motivation. Now, is it a motivation that he wants to play football and he wants to have a real go of it this season and add to his career and add to his legacy? I don't know. I hope so. Is it just an option he wants to get the hell out of Madrid? That might also be the case. If that's the case, then it's not the best bit of news, is it, for United? If the only reason he wants to come to United is just so he can get away from Madrid for the season, then that's not great. But if he actually wants to come and play football, if he wants to come and play for a top team who are challenging for, should be challenging for everything, who are in the Champions League, then he can come and join United and he'll get absolutely everything he wants. So, yeah, to me, it would make sense for Gareth Bale. But the injury issues, etc., it's all about fitness and whether or not we should go for the risk. Nishat Tomar comments, Shaw at centre-back. Shaw at centre-back with Reguilon coming in. Nice one, Nishant Tomar. Well, certainly in a 3-5-2 formation like we saw Solskjaer utilise last season in a couple of games, Shaw did very well as that left-sided centre-back in a back three, but I don't rate him. I wouldn't want to see him in a back line of a back four as a centre-back, to be honest with you, only because of his size. He's not the biggest. What is he, like 5'9", 5'10"? Just like, think about Patrice Evra. Patrice Evra is an amazing, one of the best left-backs I've ever seen in my life, one of the best wing-backs ever, one of the best ever for United. Him and Dennis Irwin are clearly the head and shoulders above everyone. But I wouldn't want to see him play centre-back, even though he was fantastic defensively, because you know, he might be good in the air for a small man, but if you're coming up against a 6'2" striker or a Harry Kane or somebody like this, and you're Luke Shaw, you're going to just lose out in the physical side of things. And certainly defending set pieces, what I want from my two centre-backs are to be in there, headed everything away. A la Harry Maguire, heading absolutely everything away. That was what's so good about Vidic and Rio. They were both, you know, I think Vidic was only probably like 6'1", was he? Rio is a big lad. I think, you know, because I met Rio once and I was like, fucking hell, you're actually tall as foot, mate. He was like, must be like 6'4", 6'5" or something. Rio's got to be, because he was taller than me, and also Vidic was probably about 6'1", 6'2". So you had good unit, good team there to deal with everything in the air. Whereas United now, I mean, yeah, Lindelof's 6 foot, Maguire's a big lad. Lindelof probably 6'1", actually, whatever he is, but it just doesn't work. They're just not as good. What we need is a big unit there who is good to partner Harry Maguire, who's quick as well. That'd be brilliant. Somebody who's at least 6 foot, in my opinion. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you're a great player. I mean, look at some of the greatest players to have ever played the game in that position. People talk about Franco Baresi. Franco Baresi, of course, one of the greatest Italian centre-back defenders of all time. I think he was 5'8", 5'9", definitely wasn't any more than 5'10". He wasn't a big guy, but he just had he read the game brilliantly. So there are, of course, exceptions to the rule. It's not just saying if you're short, you can't be a great centre-back, but I do think if you're 6 foot at least, 6 foot plus, that's the right height to be a centre-back. You've got to be. There you go. Jonathan Denton, thank you, Jonathan, for giving us an update. We've just passed 151 likes. That is awesome, Jonathan. If you're enjoying the show today, everyone, and you're liking the community vibe here, such as Hassan Sheikh, who's just subscribed, then please do smash that thumbs up button, lads and lasses. Let's see if we can smash it to 200 likes. You're a bunch of legends. Really appreciate every single one of you that takes the time to like this vid. And if you can give it a share on social media as well, that would definitely help us out. You know, guys, there's a lot of big clickbait channels and shit like that out there. So it's hard out here for a pig, you know? So if you can help out by showing your support with that like button, that would be sensational. Patrick Pandy, thank you very much. He says, I'm 170 centimetres. I can play centre-back for United for £100 per week. Hey, nice one, Patrick Pandy, mate. Yeah, might be a little bit on the short side there for centre-back. Ed Woodward comments, Flying Pig, how are you, bro? Long time no watch. Ed Woodward, how dare you get in the live chat with you, the transfer window? You are overseeing, pal. No, good to see you, Edward Woodward. I know, not the real Ed Woodward, of course. Hunar comments, Pig, no compromising with the Glazers and Woodward. We will not accept it, even if they get Sancho, Reguilon, Upamecano and Thiago. Recent financial report shows how much they have stolen from our club. I totally agree with you, Hunar, and I just want to go into this actually a little bit and talk to you about something really quick, because I agree with you, mate. It is disgusting what has happened with Manchester United and the current financial situation. Let me just find the article I was reading very quickly. But yeah, I mean, just to get into that, guys, then we'll get back into the transfer stuff really quick. But there is some news about the spending of the Glazers, and not the spending, but actually the investment. So Manchester United, so this is no surprise to me, and I'm sure it's no surprise to any of you either, but Manchester United have effectively put the least investment into our side out of 20 different Premier League clubs since 2015, with Arsenal also the next shitbags. So let's have a look at why this is. So this is Premier League clubs, owners, financing their side's list. This is basically how much the owners of the football club are putting into the club compared to how much they're taking out of the club. So that's what this list is, right, guys? So this is a Premier League owner financing list since 2014-15, so the last 5 or 6 years, and it's in millions of pounds, right? So Chelsea... thank you, by the way, Mrs. P. Cake Bandit. Thank you, Mrs. P. Cake Bandit, for getting with a super chat for Ellie. She says, put a love emoji in the chat for Ellie. She is so lovely. Absolutely one of our legendary moderators, Ellie. Absolutely top lass. Show your love, and show your love for all the moderators, because they keep this community in this chat all nice and safe and free of Leeds scumbags, and also, no, anyone's welcome in this chat as long as you're respectful and not a complete douche. But it does turn out every Leeds fan we have in here, it turns out to have to get banned because they're just abusive scum. Just happens to be a coincidence, guys, that's all I'm saying. Anyway, Premier League owner financing since 2014-15, Chelsea #1. No surprise there. You know how much they spent in millions of pounds investment into the club from their owner? 440 million in the last 5 years. 440 million in the last 5 years. Everton in second place. That may surprise some of you, but not really, because we know their owners are well off. 299 million in the last 5 years. 299 million in the last 5 years. That means they're putting money in and not taking it out, by the way. This is a list of owner financing the club versus owners taking money out of the club. That's basically the balance here. So you can have a positive and a negative, if you know what I mean. Chelsea, 440. Everton, 299. Aston Villa, next, surprise, 193 million. Fulham, 186 million. Brighton, 160 million. Man City, 142 million. Wolves, 131 million. Liverpool, 75 million. Leeds, 54 million. Crystal Palace, 45 million. Sheffield United, 17 million. Southampton, 1 million. Now we're getting into the negatives. Now what that means is that as opposed to, yes, they're spending money, but as opposed to investment, the money generated from the club is now going into debt repayments, it's going into dividends, it's going into all these different avenues that they've got in order to siphon money out of this football club. That's what this means. Okay, so we're getting into the negative part of this table now. Arsenal, gashtastic, 0. Burnley, -4 million. That means they've taken 4 million out of the club over that period of time. West Brom, 5 million. Leicester, 6 million. West Ham, 11 million. Newcastle, -18 million. Tottenham, -40 million. Man United, -89 million, the absolute worst. Premier League owner financing since 2014-15. What does that tell you about Joel and the Glazers? They're a bunch of absolute shithouse, thieving, robbing bastards. It's as simple as that. Love United, hate Glazers, had enough of these tits, make it known constantly. It doesn't matter, you're right. Whether we get Thiago, whether we get Sancho, whether we get any of these players, it doesn't matter. Because they are sucking the lifeblood out of this football club, everybody. We can clearly see that with this report here. In the span between 2014 and the end of the 2018-19 season, Man United have had the least amount of investment from the Glazers of any club in the top flight. In fact, United have actually seen a staggering £80 million taken out of the club. For context, 6 other clubs have seen a net cash outflow in the 5-season period as well. Of those clubs, just one has seen more than 18 million taken out, making the Glazers' 89 million haul all the more galling for United fans. At the top of the table, Chelsea have seen an incredible £440 million injected into the club by their Russian oligarch billionaire owner Roman Abramovich. Everton, 299, they sit there as well. I mean, it just goes to show you what a disgusting situation this football club is in with the current regime and the current owners. There's no getting away from it, guys. They've taken out £89 million, pocketed £89 million from Manchester United, which is, of course, we're one of the biggest clubs, one of the wealthiest clubs in the world. So that's why they came in here. They bought the club with debt. They've serviced that debt every single year by using the money generated from this great football club and the fan base. This club only exists because of the fans. They are milking the fans. Me, you, Jimmy down the road, Zokawama, Zote, they are milking the fans. They're milking every single one of us, lads and lasses. So don't ever get away from that. Even if they do paper over the cracks and get Sancho in this summer, they're still shit owners. We still deserve better than the Glazers. And to be honest with you, you know, we should never be happy with their ownership the way it is at the moment. They're not helping our football club out. Look at all this hindrance that they've got going. Hey, Matt Rush, thank you so much for your super chat here, buddy. Really appreciate that, man. He's just sent 20 quid over, dude. Thank you, Matty the Rush Meister. Really appreciate that, man. He says, great show, top show again. Amazing support in here, mate. Thank you so much, Matt Rush. You're absolutely spot on, and you're, of course, showing some amazing support yourself. Matt Rush is the transfer guru of this channel, by the way. He keeps us up to date. He's got some brilliant sources at United. He's a season ticket holder for many years. He's just a top, passionate Manchester United fan, and he's got some great connections too. So follow him on social media, MattUTD20, because Matt Rush is a top lad. But you're absolutely right, mate. Amazing support in this community. Brilliant community. Shout out to the Bacon Brigade. Shout out to everyone who gets in here and watches these videos. And just thank you for watching. You know, smash that like button if you're new to this channel as well. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If this is the first time you're getting in here with these Man United daily shows, get involved. Smash that subscribe button. Click the bell icon to be notified when we post live, and that way you won't miss a thing. Thank you so much for that, Matt Rush. You're an absolute scholar and a gent. And he sent another one. He sent another one. Dude, thank you so much, Matt Rush. He sent a super chat in saying, Smalling update, pig fab tweet. See, this is what I'm talking about. He's my transfer guru. Thank you so much, Mr. Matthew Rush. Let's have a look here. Fabrizio Romano then has come out just a little while ago, 40 minutes ago. Thank you, Matt Rush, for keeping us up to date. And he's commented, Malash Kumbula to AS Roma deal is confirmed. Here we go. Last details to be completed on the next few hours. He's going to sign his contract until June 2025. Roma are still working on Chris Smalling with MUFC, but no agreement reached yet. Oh, okay. Well, that's at least that last bit of that actually said something positive, because I was thinking the rest of this tweet here from Fabrizio Romano was going to say Smalling deal now off, because look, if AS Roma have completed the signing of another defender, Marash Kumbula, then maybe the likeliness of getting Smalling in would be lessened. But look, he also says at the end there, Roma are still working on Chris Smalling with MUFC, but no agreement reached yet. So they're still trying to iron it out. We understood that United would be interested in taking about 13 or 14 million euros. It seems like Roma were trying to lowball us and pay us a significant amount less than that. We said, nah, you're all right then. They've gone and got somebody else just in case, but they're still obviously sniffing around Chris Smalling as a potential centre-back for them. He had a great season there, guys. There's all the reasons we've gone over. They want him. He wants to go there. All makes sense. The only thing that maybe doesn't make sense for them is the wages. Again, it's the wages, guys. That's why we can't sell any of our Deadwood, because of the wages that they're on. Thank you so much for that, Matty Rush. That's a great update on Chris Smalling there. So, yeah, just to let you guys know, the deal still is possible here with Roma. Fabrizio said it himself. He says they're still working on the deal, United and Roma. They're still trying to reach an agreement here. We understand Smalling has agreed personal terms with Roma on a 2 or 3 year contract. It's not about that. He wants to play for them. They had him last year. They want him back. It's not about that. What it is about is the amount of money that's been exchanged between the two football clubs. Pretty much like every other deal that United have been involved with this season or this window, whether it's been trying to buy a player. We've got the personal terms agreed. If the player wants to come, everybody's happy, apart from the clubs not being able to reach an agreement. So it's sickening. It's another one of those. But crikey, oh my days, Chris Smalling. If we get stuck with Chris Smalling again, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be ideal. Right then, okay, so we've gone over Pogba, we've gone over Rakic. Just to give everyone who's getting in here, though, a bit of an update. Manchester United, obviously the thumbnail of this video and the title of this video is Manchester United are being linked with a move for Uros Rakic, who is a Serbian central defensive midfielder, 22 years of age, in the same mould as an Nemanja Matic. He's a unit, he's tall, he's physical, he's a destructive defensive mid. He's currently at Valencia. He hasn't really played for them. He made his debut the other day for them. He's been on loan to a Portuguese side who I've not ever really heard of, Finichicao or somebody, I don't know, for the last year. So he's an option, guys. You know, there's reports coming out to say that Manchester United have been in touch with Rakic's representatives and we're trying to negotiate a deal with Valencia as well. So look, it's whether or not Valencia would sell him to us for that amount of money. He's understood to have a 92 million euro release clause in his contract, which is a huge amount of money, which goes to show you maybe the potential that Valencia saw in him when they signed him. But also, they would accept a heck of a lot less than that at this moment in time. He's a 22-year-old unknown Serbian central defensive midfielder. I don't even think he's played for the Serbian national side yet. He's played for their under-21 system, but I don't think he's played for the Serbian national side yet. So in terms of warranting that sort of money, absolutely not. They're understood to be in quite financial financially bad situation at the moment, Valencia, so they would be increasingly likely to accept an offer of somewhere 25, 30 million euros. That's what's been reported. That's what we understand in regards to Rakic. He's a player that not many people know too much about. Like I say, he's been playing in Portugal for the last year for a club not many people know about. But he is a Valencia player. He is a Serbian player. He's lauded, he's hailed as the next Nemanja Matic potentially in the future for Serbia. United need a proper destructive defensive midfielder. That's something we don't have other than Matic, and he's 32 and getting older. He can still do the job for us for a season or two, but we need a long-term replacement. This lad's 22. He's younger. Obviously, he will be getting better, so you never know. You never know. Clam J says Grealish isn't worth 80, but then again, neither is Slab. Yeah, you're so right about that one, mate. I don't think Slabby's worth 80 mil. I don't think Jadon Sancho's worth 120 mil. That's just my opinion, everyone. Like, I just don't think he's worth that money right now, especially in this market with what's going on in the world. There's no way you can justify paying 120 mil for Sancho, even though we need him and we want him. If you want him and you need him that much, you have to pay the premium and you have to spend the money. But he's still overpriced. I don't care what anybody says. Somebody was ranting at the other day saying we don't deserve them. We don't deserve Sancho if we don't think he's worth 120 million. But I see what you're saying, but in this climate, you can go and get 3 or 4 other top quality players for that money. So it's just one of those, like, if he's available, if we want him, go and get him. Sancho wants to come, everything's there. It's the money. Dortmund played him the other night. They're not going to part ways with him easily. It's obvious. I mean, Bruno played in a game before he came. I think Harry Maguire played in a game a couple of days before he came. So it doesn't necessarily mean anything. I often think that's a bit of a flex from the team who's trying to sell them, to put them in the side, to say, make a statement out there and say, you know what? We're not selling him. If you want him, you have to come and pay the money. We're not keeping our prized assets safe, injury-free for you. Now, our intention is to play him this season. If you want to change our minds, you come and change our minds. That seems to me the situation that Dortmund are putting out there. And, you know, they've said it enough times, basically, saying that, you know, whether it's their manager, whether it's the chief executive director of football, they've said it enough times. They are not selling Jadon Sancho this summer. They've actually said that. So, look, it's up to United to change their minds with a financial offer, a big financial, a big offer, 120 million. But I don't think it's going to come. I just don't think it's going to come now. My Jadon Sancho vibes, my hopes for getting Jadon Sancho have dwindled like Victor Lindelof's career at United. They've absolutely dwindled. We got Victor Lindelof and it was like, yeah, this guy's going to be good. And then, oh no, he's actually shite. Back off out the side, Victor. You know, it's like that. So, nice one, guys. Okay, get your thoughts and opinions in the comments. There's a couple more things to talk about. Scott McLeod says Pig Romano tweeted. Let's have a quick look and give it an update, see if this has just come in now. If it's about anything to do with us anyway. Matt Rush, thank you very much for giving me a tweet, and you as well, Scott McLeod, thank you. Look, Fabrizio Romano's just tweeted at 3:46, breaking news. Here we go. Talks progressing between Manchester United and Real Madrid to reach the total agreement for Sergio Reguilon. The two clubs are discussing about the buyback clause. Oh, fucking hell. The MUFC won't accept. Reguilon and his agents have positive feelings. He wants to join. Okay, thanks for that update, Fabrizio Romano, for just saying exactly the same things that we've already been talking about for the rest of the last bloody week. I thought that was going to say, he's coming for a medical and we reached an agreement. But actually, it just says the same information. But thank you, Mavros. Thank you very much for Fabrizio Romano as well for getting in here. Talks progressing between Manchester United and Real Madrid to reach the total agreement for Sergio Reguilon. The two clubs are discussing about the buyback clause that MUFC won't accept. Reguilon and his agents have positive feelings. He wants to join. This is farcical, lads and lasses. It's farcical. Come on, United. Go back there and get a bloody bid put in there with no buyback clause for an increased amount of money. It's understood we went in with a 20 million euro offer with no buyback clause. I mean, how much of a low ball offer is that? That's such an Ed Wood offer, isn't it? That's such a Woody offer. No, there's no way they would have accepted that. Maybe if there's a buyback clause and stuff like that, and they know they're going to get him back in a couple of seasons, but they're not going to accept 20 million euros for him. I think we've got to pay 30 million euros, maybe even slightly more, to get him with no buyback clause. It's understood he would like to return to Real Madrid one day. He's a Spanish lad he's come to Real Madrid there. Why wouldn't he? They were a top side, to be perfectly honest with you. They just won La Liga. So you have to give the player, you have to give the club an incentive for wanting to come and be here permanently. You have to give him something. You can't just say, yeah, you know what? These other clubs will take him on a loan basis or take him on a buyback basis, but we won't, but we're just going to offer you the same amount of money anyway. You can't do that, guys. So it's all about the negotiations still. Look, we're waiting for a total agreement to be reached for Sergio Reguilón. We're waiting for the terms to be ironed out in terms of the clause, in terms of will there not be a clause in the contract. United do not want a clause. We don't buy players with clauses in the contract. That's why we gave up on Erling Haaland, because there was some future release clause in the contract that they wanted. And we don't operate like that as a football club, which is why we miss out on some good talents. But it also is another reason why we do get players consistently playing for this club for a very long time. Like, nobody could ever say that Manchester United is a selling club. Nobody could ever say we're a selling club. We don't do that. We get players long-term down to contract. So I think that's no bad thing. If we can get him with no buyback clause in the contract, that's what we should do. Absolutely. But even if there is a buyback clause, I would still get him short-term if it's not a lot of money, just to help us out. But I know we don't operate that way as a club. So pay the money, get it done. Talks are progressing between United and Real Madrid to reach the total agreement of Sergio Reguilón. Two clubs are discussing about the buyback clause. I think that's I think that's our next signing. I do. I think that's our next signing. Never mind Sancho, never mind Rakic, never mind anybody else we've talked about, Bale. These all might happen. But I just think the next signing, the first signing we make now, is going to be Reguilón. I've been saying that for ages anyway. I think Reguilón's going to be the first through the door here. It's a bargain fee that you have to pay for him. He adds a bit to our side there. He gives us depth and qualities. He gives Solskjaer the ability to maybe play Luke Shaw centre-back some games as well in a 3 at the back system. And he gives cover to Luke Shaw, who is quite injury-prone and lacking the fitness a lot of the time. So in every single department, he makes sense for United. He's cheap, he's young, he's hungry, he's part of the Spain setup now. He's going to be improving over the years. He gives us depth, he gives us options, he gives us competition in the side for the different places. He allows Brandon to swap over to the right back position and deputise for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So instantly getting Reguilón does give us a lot of depth in the wing-back positions. It does. It's a no-brainer to me. Sure a centre-back, sure a CDM, sure a right winger, and maybe more important right now. But certainly he would be a great sign. I think he's going to be the first signing that we make. I'm just going to put that out there right now. This doesn't mean it's 100%. These are just my opinions and thoughts. Romano's just given us an update, which we already knew anyway. But, you know, that's the situation as it is. Talks are still progressing. Hopefully we can get it all ironed out and done with Real Madrid. But I think he will be our first signing. I don't think Alex Telles, I said obviously when we did the video about Alex Telles being linked heavily with United, I did say at the time I think that Alex Telles is being linked with United because he has big reputation, big name. He's obviously in that position. And I think it was a power move, a PR move, a bit of PR dick measuring, so to speak, between the clubs and stuff. If you don't sell us Reguilón with no buyback clause, we're just going to get Telles. That's what's been going on between Dortmund and United as well. We've been linked with every player playing in the right wing position as well. We've turned our attention to this player. We've turned our attention to that player. It's obviously a PR spin in order to try and get a bit of pressure applied and get the deals done earlier, which I completely understand. So that's what I think the Telles deal was. Whether or not you think Telles is a better player for United or not, I think he was being linked to United for United to maybe leverage getting that permanent deal done for Reguilón earlier. Matt Rush says 219 likes. That is brilliant, lads and lasses. Thank you, every single one of you who smashed that like button. Smash the like button if you have not done so already, or if you're just getting in here for the day. That will help this stream out loads. Soccer Blogger says Reguilón, here we go, tweet later tonight, in my opinion. I hope you're right, Soccer Blogger. I really do. Really hope that that's the case, mate. I would take that all day. Hot Shot says, great start for the all-or-nothing Spurs, mate. Jose Mourinho and Spurs. They lost 1-0 against Everton. They've had a nightmare. Watch out for Everton this year, though. But Jose's got his work cut out for him, man. The Portuguese Mr. Bean, I think he's got his work out for him. I don't think he's the same man that he was back in the day. I think football's moved on. I don't think his negative style of football really works these days against some of the progressive managers and stuff that we've got in our league now. So, yeah, I expect him to have a torrid season, even though he's still on paper. Spurs have got one of the best squads, like one of the best starting 11s. I still think that. Players like Son Heung-min, Harry Kane, you know, these guys, they've got a very good squad. Maybe they're lacking a little bit more in the midfield department nowadays, but still. Zen Newbie, how's it going? He says, woo-woo. Hello, Majestic Potato. How's it going? Where does Martial play then? He's got to play at number 9, doesn't he? Unless, of course, we do get another striker in, but I don't see that happening. Ryan Berberspin 9, how you doing, matey? Dylan Gill says Reguilón wants to join the biggest club in the world. Absolutely, there's never been any debate about Reguilón joining the club. There's never been any issues about him wanting to come. It's understood he does want to come. He was open to a different few options, though, it seemed. Staying at Real Madrid being one of them, but he wants to play. So he wanted to maybe go to Sevilla, where he was last year, but it seems like he wants to progress his career and play for a huge club. It's a huge platform for him to play for United. He played for some wicked players, some of the best in the world. You could argue, a few anyway, not as many as we probably should, but a couple of the best in the world, I say. Who would you say is world class at Man United, lads and lasses? Bruno Fernandes? Paul Pogba? People say that on his day. Thank you so much, everybody, for getting in here. Sorry, I just seen somebody subscribed here, but the name's gone, so I apologise. But whoever has subscribed... Oh, yeah, Brent Samuel. Thank you, Brent Samuel, for getting in here and subscribing. If you've not subscribed to this channel, if this is your first time watching this, smash the subscribe button, click the bell icon, get involved. We do daily videos every day about Manchester United, and at this moment in time, with the transfer market open, and we're doing daily transfer videos, so we do a daily update like this, where we go through all the news stories. We do also a weekly, what was I going to say? A evening show. We also do an evening show as well. So yeah, nice one, guys. Mangashu says Aaron Wan-Bissaka has the potential. Shout out to you, Dwight Hastings, for subscribing. Mangashu says Aaron Wan-Bissaka has the potential to become world class for sure. I don't think he's got the potential, Mangashu. I think he already is world class, and I'm not even joking. At what he does as a defensive right back, as somebody who's great in the tackle, he's great in the one-on-one. He's already world class, so in my opinion, you're right. He definitely will be world class, but I think he already is. I actually think he already is. Gungshi says, Ellie, signs of goblinry creeping in with the Portuguese Mr. Bean. Definitely. He's having all sorts of goblinry issues. Oh my days. Gungshi. Gungshi, my friend. Gungshi. Everyone stick a heart in the live chat with Gungshi. Seriously, he's just sent me a PayPal over. You're a top legend, Gungshi. Oh my days. Let me just read this comment out from Gungshi. He says... Thank you, Gungshi. He says, great show as usual, Pig. I'm sleepy now, so I might pass out before the end of the stream. I'll try not to. In the meantime, here's a cheeky donation to keep the pig's larder well stocked. Get in there, my pig. Mommy! Hey, Gungshi, thank you so much for that, dude. What an unbelievable legend. Shout out to all the subscribers, all the super channels, all the PayPalers. People who actually send money to me on this show. It's mental. It's mental, but thank you, Gungshi. Thank you, Gungshi. You're a top lad. Look at all those love hearts coming in there. Really appreciate that, dude. Yes, you go to sleep, mate. If you need to fall asleep, then have a good sleep, my friend. Obviously, I'm guessing it's, yeah, that would be a good time for you to fall asleep, Gungshi. What's it, like 10 p.m. there? Yeah, get a good early night. That makes a lot of sense. Gungshi says, got to keep the pig's larder stocked with goodies. What with that and Eddie's birthday cake and stuff yesterday? Crikey. We're going to definitely have the old larder stocked up, lads and lasses. So thank you very much. Cliff Blackburn, thank you for getting those hearts in there. Dwight Hastings says, great show, lad. Loving this. Top lad, thank you very, very much. Paul Vanderbeek says, hiya, Mr. P. Hello to you too, Paul. Top lad. Ice Queen Gaming. Ryan Burbspin 9, VK Dean, Matt Rush, Ryan Sebastian Velez, Mrs. P, Ellie, Brandon C. Hey, great to see you, Brandon C. How you doing today? Jarvis Cocker says, Gail Brave will be this season's big surprise. You heard it here first. I like it, my friend. I like what you're saying there. I like the vibes. I like your moves. I like your skills. Oh, yes, Gungshi. Yeah, get an early night, mate. I hope the hospital appointment goes well tomorrow, Gungshi. And just thank you so much for that, mate. Honestly, thank you very much for just getting in here today and being a part of this show as well. Thank you, Cletus, as well. Cletus McGeetus says, best show, boy. Thank you, Cletus. Jim Joe Bobley says you're going to have diabetes. I do think that is a possibility in the future. I shouldn't joke about it, really, but I do have a lot of sugar. I need to change my diet and lifestyle, to be perfectly honest with you. I do. Otherwise, I'm a diabetes waiting to happen, my friends. Ryan Mark Williams says, I need to point this out right. Bayern signed Sano. Okay, they have 6 wingers, of which 5 are world class. So surely Koeman would want to move. Think about it. Great comment, Ryan Williams. And you would be right in thinking that, wouldn't you? They've got so much depth there. They've just added Sane to it. Maybe they were not really expecting Gnabry to go on and do what he's done, because obviously they paid like 6 million quid for him. Arsenal selling Gnabry for 6 million, by the way. What a bunch of idiots. But anyway, I hear you. That's what annoys me about Bayern as well. They got all that depth and quality in those positions there, and they still add to it. They still went and got Leroy Sané for, what was it, like 54 million? They're still adding to it. So, you know, you can't fault the way that Bayern run things. But yeah, you're right. In terms of pecking order, if there's an opportunity that arises where you can add to the team and improve a position, even if you've already got great players there, then you should go ahead and do that, shouldn't you? And that's what Bayern Munich have done. And that's what we should do as well in a lot of these positions, such as the midfield position. People were moaning about Thiago, saying we've got too many midfielders. If we can get a better player than one of the other midfielders, that's a good thing to do. Increase the quality, increase the depth. No brainer. Same goes for Bayern. Hey, Mohammed Salim. What's going on? Dahlia, man, what's going on? Says Pig. Hang on a sec. What did that say? Let me go back up. Dahlia, sorry, I missed your comment there. Dahlia, man, says, Pig, are you from Dorset? I am indeed, mate. Yes, I am from Dorset. Shout out here to Kayam, by the way, who's become a member of the Bacon Brigade. Legend, Kayam. Thank you very much for getting in here and getting involved with the Bacon Brigade, mate. You're a top lad. Obviously, you've been around this show for a long time anyway, so thank you very much to you for joining the membership here of the channel, mate. What can I say? You're a legend, mate. Everybody, welcome Kayam to the channel as a member with your favourite member emoji. Get that in there, guys. Get your favourite member emoji in there. And I'll just put it in the live chat again for anybody, but there it is. If anybody does want to join the membership, that you can there. But obviously you don't have to. This is all free. But if you want to support what we do on this show, if you like this channel, there's the link to the membership. Thank you very, very much. Shout out to you, KM, you legend. Nice one. Okay, then. Right, let's get in and cover some of the other stories quick. I don't have too long today, everyone. So I've got to just, I've got to cover the stories. I say I don't have too long. I've been going for an hour and 15 minutes, but I mean, I don't necessarily have too long now. So what I want to talk about is... well, actually, we've already covered that. I was going to talk about Sergio Reguilón on the latest update, but we've just got another update from Fab, so we've gone on and talked about that. I wanted to just mention this about Paul Scholes. He put on his Instagram, he said the signing of the season so far, and he put an arrow. This is in Everton's game, a picture of James Rodriguez and Carlo Ancelotti. But he's put the signing of the season so far with an arrow pointing to Carlo Ancelotti. And I have to agree with him. It might not be a player, but the signing of the season, you know, whether it's last year, the best signing that a club has made is that manager, Carlo Ancelotti. He's a fantastic manager, Carlo Ancelotti, you know. He is, he's done it. Look at all the clubs that he's managed. They're all the top clubs in the world. He's done great things. He's won stuff everywhere. And somehow he's managed to end up at Everton there. Everton have done a great job getting a manager like him in. Honestly, that's a major coup for Everton to have him in there because it opens up the door for players wanting to come in. That's the one thing you can maybe criticise Solskjaer about. He doesn't have that reputation. He doesn't have that big name. He doesn't necessarily have the lore that a Jose or a Pep or a Carlo has. As a player, he does. As an icon of United, he does. But as a manager, he doesn't. Not yet, anyway. Whereas Carlo, he's got that mystique about him. Jose, they've got that mystique. Pep got that mystique. People want to play for them. Klopp even. People want to play for them. People want to come to the football club. That's going to open up doors for Everton. He will be able to sign players such as James Rodriguez, obviously people he's had dealings with in the past anyway. He will absolutely be able to get that Everton side playing a lot better. So watch out for Everton this season. Thank you, Ryan Sebastian Veles. He says, you are a legend, Pig. Appreciate it. Griffo Chaz says, class set of managers in the league this season. Yeah, you're right about that, mate. You're spot on. It is a who's who of managers in this league at the moment. I guess all we're really missing would be like getting Diego Simeone over managing someone. I don't know. And then we'd pretty much have all the best managers in the game in the league right now, I think. Anyway, maybe Laurent Blanc and people like this, whatever. Gunshi says, Everton look confident with Carlo. They're leading them. Yeah, absolutely. He's doing a great job. Well, he is the original Don Pigliani, Don Carlo Ancelotti. You come to me and you ask me questions about in the media whether Everton can go on and win the game. And I would tell you this, if you write any bullshit other than that Everton will win every single game, you will wake up with the head of a horse in your bed, my friends. He is a proper Sicilian gangster, this guy, you know? So don't mess with Carlo Ancelotti. Zanini comments, is there a possibility of us signing Ousmane Dembele? Shout out Cliff Blackburn, who's just subscribed. There is a possibility, but a low possibility. Like I've said, this is the pecking order for me. For Man United, Sancho, if we can't get Sancho, move on. If we can't get him, who are we going to go and get? Well, yeah, maybe Dembele would be in the next tier down. Adama Traore might be another player United could look at strengthening the side. There's Kingsley Coman at Bayern Munich. A lot of people linking us to him, and rightfully so, because they have just strengthened with Sane, and maybe they do have too many players there. That would be an interesting link. And if you go down the list and you can't get to, you know, if you can't sign any of these players, then you get to the Gareth Bale loan option, you get to the David Brooks Gash link and all this. That's where you get down to, your Josh Kings and all this business. You get down to your Gash links. We don't want to go to your Gash links, we want to get Sancho in. But that's, I'm not even talking about the Sancho deal in this video today, guys, like obviously I haven't done. Shout out Feliz for subscribing. I'm just not doing that because it's just pointless at this moment in time. We know the situation, we know that Dortmund are playing hardball, there's still a few weeks left of the window, maybe they'll bend. Maybe Manchester United will renegotiate and get closer to the figure that Dortmund want and they'll bend. But at this moment in time, nothing's changed, guys. We don't know. So I'm not talking about the Sancho deal anymore. It just winds me up. But of course, if there's some more news in regards to Sancho, we will talk about it. But at this moment in time, it's just the same old shit. By the way, also wanted to talk about this, so just to cover the rest of the news, and then we'll have to, I'll jump in the comments a little bit, and then we'll have to crack on. But Jack Grealish explains signing a new Aston Villa contract following Manchester United transfer talks. So, Jack Grealish has just signed a new 5-year contract at Aston Villa. We were never going to get him anyway. There was no value in him. 70 million quid. He's not worth 70 million quid for United right now in this current climate. Sorry. Again, you'd be overpaying a premium for an English player. We overpaid for Harry Maguire, where we might overpay for Sancho. We don't want to overpay for Grealish as well. I think he would be a good player for us, though. But the money's not right on that one. Van der Beek at 35 mil or Grealish at 70 mil. It doesn't even make sense. Well, his value will be even more now, actually, Villa, because they just signed him up to a new 5-year deal. So his value is probably like 80 million now for what they'd actually accept for him. So, yeah. So that's dead, isn't it? Grealish, he has shone for Aston Villa throughout the season, to be fair. Last year, he was a great player for them. I would have liked to have seen him come to the club. I would have liked to have seen Aston Villa relegated so that we were able to get Grealish to the club for about 40 or 50 mil, because I think we could have done with him this season. I really, really do. But look, City were also keen on him this window, we understand, but they just didn't want to pay the money for him either because there's no good value in that deal. So there you go. Just to let you know, Grealish has signed a new deal. I don't know what you guys think about any of that business. Ashley Singh says, any update on Thiago? There's not really, mate. No, he's supposed to be on holiday at the moment, isn't he? And he's still, of course, he's waiting for Manchester United or Liverpool or Barca to actually table an official bid to Bayern Munich. That's still the case. We're understood that Man United and Liverpool and these teams, they do want Thiago, but the reason they're not tabling an official bid is because his contract's running out, and they know that the longer this window goes on, they know that Bayern Munich do not want to lose Thiago for nothing come the end of next year or in 6 months' time be able to sign terms with another team. So what they're trying to do is bide their time, wait until the last days of the window so that Bayern Munich would accept a measly amount of money for him. So at the moment, 30 million euros is being talked about, but in a week's time, in 2 weeks' time, in 2.5 weeks' time, you could be looking at 20 million euros to get him, because that's better than nothing for a club like Bayern Munich. Maybe they'd rather keep him for the year, but actually I think that they probably would want to cash in if that opportunity presents itself. So I think we're going to see if there is any movement with Thiago. I still think Liverpool or Barca are favourites for him, but if there is going to be a bit of movement with Thiago, I have a feeling that it will be in the last coming days, the last days of the window. That's my opinion on it. So here we go. Yeah, and just to give you another update as well from John Solano, who is AS Roma, part of AS Roma Press. He said that Chris Smalling remains a priority for AS Roma. Manager Paulo Fonseca. Marash Kumbula does not exclude Smalling's return to Rome. The parties remain in negotiations. However, the deal has been complicated due to several different intermediaries being involved. Okay, so there's just another update there for you for Smalling, guys. Also, thank you, Matt Rush, for sending me this. We just got a little bit on Bale here. Asked the source close to Gareth Bale about Manchester United rumours and was told bluntly there'll be no comment on rubbish news. So there you go. But some of the stories do make a bit of sense. Like I said, we saw Bale talking about wanting to join Manchester United for Sky Sports. He was saying he wants to leave Real Madrid. But look, I don't see United doing it unless we've explored all the different avenues and all the different options that we can in that position on a permanent deal. Somebody younger, somebody hungrier, somebody who's got more to prove, somebody who fits the right ethos of what we're trying to do at this football club right now is what we should be going for. Bale has got the ability to be a bad apple. He's got the ability to have the effect of a bad apple at Man United. We don't want that in the dressing room. We just got rid of that turd Alexis Sanchez. We don't want another bad apple turd stinking up the place in the side. So I get it, but if his mentality's right, if Solskjaer speaks to him, he's happy with his commitment, he does want to go and play football, he's not getting that at Real Madrid, so he does want to play football, he's 31, he doesn't just want to play golf, and he wants to play football, then I'd take him. Anyway. Okay, so there we go. Chris Smalling, we've talked about that. Reguilon, we've talked about that. Romano says, in regards to Reguilon, the talks are progressing. It's not 100% agreed yet. We want a no buyback clause, just to give an update on that. Rakic, a young Serbian 22-year-old defensive midfielder, heavily linked with Manchester United. Also, United were never interested in signing back Memphis Depay. So United have the first right of a refusal on the contract of Memphis Depay. We understand that he's joining Barcelona. But United had the option to maybe bring Memphis Depay back to the club, but they did not exercise that. Solskjaer didn't want to touch him with a 10-foot barge pole. What do you think about that? Because Depay's actually a good player. Maybe he would have been a good option. If we can't get Sancho as a winger, as an option, as a goal scorer, as a creator, maybe Depay back at the club would have made a lot of sense. I know it didn't work out last time, but it was a different vibe, different manager, different team, different setup, different shite. You know, so I think maybe he would have been a good option. I'm just saying it, good option. Also, a report here to say from Mike Verwey to say it looks like the Wijnaldum to Barca deal is off the table. The Dutch midfielder held a positive meeting with Klopp last week and is now waiting for a new contract offer from Liverpool. That's via Mike Verwey, who is the Telegraph Sportverslaggever for Ajax over in the Netherlands, whatever that is. But anyway, he had some good information in regards to Donny van der Beek. So I believe this guy. And in regards to Wijnaldum, look, whether or not Barca are going to sign Wijnaldum is another thing. If Liverpool can't tempt Thiago or do not want to pay the money for Thiago, they're not going to want to sell Wijnaldum, are they? So that makes a lot of sense to me. Okay then, guys. So that's pretty much it. I'm just going to jump into the comment section really quick and see what you guys think. If you guys want to ask me anything or you guys want to talk about anything or share your opinions and thoughts, please do. And also, please smash that thumbs up button, lads and lasses, if you have not done so already. That would be sick. Smash a like on it. Let's see if we can get to 300 likes. Appreciate you all who've done that. King, how's it going, Cole King? He says, Donny will be a beast. I think so too. I think he's got all the attributes to be a great player for us. Josh Strain says, apparently Sergio Reguilon should be done by tonight or tomorrow. We're hearing about it. We're hearing that talks are progressing very nicely. It's just about United reaching that agreement with no buyback clause. I think that we will. Matt Rush, he says, subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Matt Rush. Yeah, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Smash the subscribe. We're on our way to 30,000 subscribers, lads and lasses. Come on, my son, get in there. That is absolutely sick, by the way. So thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to all the old subscribers. Just subscribe if you're new, basically. Gregory Burke says, Glazers out. Good shout, my friend. The Glazers are a complete bag of shite. Ussie Sawa says, Depay's not coming Barcelona. No. Well, it's possible. We'll see what happens there. Ryan Burberspin9 says, smash a like, guys and girls. Barcelona have got to do some business, don't they? I mean, they've got to get some players in and out, it seems like there. Brandon C says the midfield is looking kind of full, though. It is. I mean, especially if we sign another player like this Rakic guy, it would be really full then. But there's nothing wrong with improving and getting that depth in the side. Becky Hope comments, Pig Henderson, number 2 keeper. I feel for Romero. He should be the number 2 keeper. He did amazing cup runs, barely put a foot wrong. Your views. Yeah, you know what? He has never put a foot wrong. He's never put a foot wrong. You're spot on with that, to be fair. I mean, as a number 2, he's a perfect number 2. I'd say he's the best number 2 backup keeper United have ever had. You know, he makes people like Anders Lindegaard and Raymond van der Gaal and these people completely pale in comparison, because those guys were really backup keepers. Like, they were not the number 1 choice for a reason, you know. Whereas Romero, you could argue this season for United just gone, maybe he should have been playing instead of De Gea in certain games because of the form he was showing compared to the form De Gea was showing. So I agree with you. I think he's a very good keeper. Whoever ends up with him is going to get themselves a good keeper. I'm happy for United to keep with him. And, but yeah, it's tough now Dean Henderson's coming. I guess it's just planning for the future, though, Becky. We've got to plan for the future. Dean Henderson's got a great future ahead of him, it seems, anyway, on the back of that top-flight season for Sheffield United this year. He's done great things. I think he's going to be a good young player. 24 years of age, definitely gives De Gea some competition. It's not bad having 3 good keepers, but I hear you, though. He's probably not going to play a lot of games. If I was Romero, I'd be looking to move away from the football club. It's one thing being the backup goalkeeper for a huge club like United when you get to play in the Europa League and the FA Cup and all these games. Romero played a lot of games for United, really, as a backup goalkeeper, for a backup goalkeeper. So I hear you on that one, but he probably will want to leave. I don't know. Dwight Hastings says the team will be fine this season. Come on, United. I hope you're right, Dwight. I hope we get somewhere in the mix of maybe challenging for things again. Griffo Chan says, what's a successful transfer window for you, Pig? Griffo, successful transfer window for me would simply be progressing and adding the right puzzle pieces to the team. Now, Sancho, getting him in, that's a puzzle piece to me that I think would fit for the next 10 years. So that would be huge. If we got Sancho and Donny van der Beek, I would actually take that because I know 159 million pounds, euros, spent on 2 players. That's a big investment. But it still wouldn't be satisfactory. That wouldn't be good enough because we've got a glaring problem at the back at centre-back and a glaring issue in other areas of the team as well. I think we could do with a striker long-term as well because, look, Igalo's only here until January. It's not the most pressing of issues, though. CDM, we're talking about Rakic, somebody to overtake and replace Matic long-term. Makes a lot of sense. So, look, it's the only... I would consider a successful transfer window if we added either Jadon Sancho, Reguilon and Van der Beek. I think those 3 players, you could just about get that done if they're prepared to spend the money on Jadon. But I don't think Jadon's going to happen now, so you know. So I think the rest of the window, if you were talking about what would be a good transfer window other than getting him in. I would say Reguilon. I would say a centre-back, whether it's Upamecano, whether it's Badiashile, whether it's somebody else. Just a centre-back would be great. And I would think maybe this Rakic lad, if he's cheap, or Thiago, not both, but one or the other. Either you get your central defensive midfield beast for the next years who's taken over Matic, or you get a seasoned, experienced pass master, a seasoned, experienced playmaker in that of Thiago, and then you increase the quality in your side there, so you've instantly increased, you've got your left back, you've got your centre back, you've got your CDM, and then go and get a right winger instead of Jadon Sancho, whether it's Kingsley Coman, whether it's Dembele, whether it's David Neres at Ajax, whether it's Adama Traore, whether it's Gareth Bale. That, to me, would be a successful window. Actually trying to give Solskjaer the tools to complete the task at hand and challenge for the title. Why not? I mean, I don't think we're going to challenge for the title this season anyway, even if we did get all these players, because we're still a long way behind the development and the process and everything that Liverpool are and City are and these guys. We are behind. We're in the middle of a rebuilding transitional period for United, and we have been for a long time. So yeah, guys, it's not going to change overnight, but I just think that if we have more players in, better players in key positions, such as centre-back, I mean, that's the one for me. If we had a Rio Ferdinand or a Nemanja Vidic right now to partner up with Matt Maguire, we'd be sorted. That's a big problem area for us, leaking too many goals at the back. Between Lindelof and between Maguire last season, how many errors did they make that led to goals? I'm guessing quite a few. I remember a bunch. I remember a whole bunch. So I'm guessing quite a few, an unacceptable amount. And when you couple that with De Gea making errors like he was, unacceptable amount. Cole King says, who's Rakic play for? He plays for Valencia. He's only played once for Valencia. He's been on loan in Portugal for the last season. He's a central defensive midfielder. He's 22. Built like a brick shithouse. Built like a Serbian brick shithouse. Built like Nemanja Matic, basically. So he's a potential replacement as a destructive defensive midfielder for Nemanja Matic going forward. Obviously, Matic is getting old. Gunga says, if we end up with Van der Beek, Reguilon and Sancho, that would be a good window, although we'd still need a centre-back. Fully agree. I would take that, though. The centre-back's the glaring position we need to strengthen, but if we did end up with Reguilon, bargain, Van der Beek, bargain, and then Jadon, ridiculously overpriced, but huge signing, those three players, that'd be a great window. That'd be a great window, especially with our board and our shit owners and stuff like that. That'd be a great window. So I'll take that all day long, my friends. Brandon C says, I mean, the Glazers are bad owners, but Newcastle United's owner is probably the worst owner in the Prem, so we should be thankful we don't have an owner like Mike Ashley. Yeah, he is a bad owner. He is a shit owner. We shouldn't even be... That's the problem, though, really, Brandon. We're comparable. We can compare ourselves to Mike Ashley because they're similar owners. He's trying to siphon money out of the football club too. He doesn't fully invest in the club too. So we're similar. Arsenal are the same. We're similar. We're not good. It's not good to be compared to these other ones. Anthony Van Wyk says, De Gea should be number 3. I don't know about that one. Thank you, Gregory Burke. He says, Mr. Flying Pig is a trustworthy source of United information. That's what I try to be, Gregory. I don't want to give you any BS. You know, at the end of the day, you've got to obviously make a video about something. So we're talking about the prospect of Rakic today and some of the other players in the title. But, you know, we're not saying any players are done. Any bids have been submitted. You know, is there a United bid for Rakic? That's the story. That's what we're talking about. I would tell you the ins and outs, how I feel about it, all the information about the transfer, all the information about the potential player. And that's yours to do with as you wish. There will be no misleading of information. I don't want to mislead the United fan base in any way by saying that these players are done, these players are going anywhere. As much as I want them to, I'm not going to mislead anybody. So you can rest assured, Nans and Nasses, if you're tuning into these transfer shows, I'm not going to give you any bullshit information in regards to airy-fairy making crap up, you know. So rest assured that's the case. Griffo says Ober staying at Arsenal. Absolutely looks to be the case. R. King says he doesn't mind Smalling. You know, he would be an option. Hulkman says, do you mind giving Mengi a chance? No, I think we definitely should give Mengi a chance. I think he looks like a really good young talent. That would mean we don't sign a centre-back, though. But like I said, if we've got the other 3 players we mentioned, I could take that. You're right, Anthony Van Wyk, they are shite owners. Dwight Hastings says, even if we don't get Sancho, we'll be fine. Our midfielder is one of the best in Europe right now. I agree, mate. I agree, actually. Our midfielder's gone to being one of the best around, actually, overnight. You're right. On paper, anyway. If Pogba's performing, if Van der Beek's performing, and is as good as we hope he's going to be in a United shirt, and Bruno keeps performing the way he has, I think you're right. I think that is one of the best one of the best. Ben Dawes says, any update on the Greenwood situation? No update from me, Ben Dawes, at this moment in time. Just that we understand, you know, the same sort of situations going on. He's not training at the moment with the team, as far as I'm aware. Eddie A says, the Glazers refusing to spend any money after getting Champions League football. Why am I not surprised? Nothing has changed. You're right, Eddie A. I don't know if you guys are just getting in here, but earlier we talked about the chart of the investment from the clubs, and Man United are the worst out of the 20 teams in the league for investment from the owners compared to money going out of the club. Sickening stats, my friend. Have a look into it. It's disgusting. The Glazers are cancer at this club. Ryan Mark Williams says, so Badia, Shield, Donny van der Beek, Rakic and a forward who can add depth and play across the front free. Well, maybe not Badia, Shield. I mean, maybe Upamecano or another centre-back, but just a centre-back, a good centre-back. Van der Beek, we've already got him, good signing. Rakic, you know, look, that's a bit out of left field. We don't know if that's going to happen. It's realistic because he's cheap and unheard of, and United are linked with him or were understood to have contacted his representatives. So there is some basis for that. And also a right winger is definitely an imperative for us this season. As much as I think Greenwood's ready in some regards at 18 to do the job, and he's going to be one of the best players, I do think that we still need to get some more quality and depth there, absolutely. And judging by what Solskjaer did last game against Villa in pre-season, where he's played Dan James on the left, he played Rashford in the middle, by the way, I don't know what that's about, but he played Dan James on the left, and Dan James looked good there, and he did quite well there. And I'm thinking maybe he's got plans for Dan James to be Rashford's backup on the left. And then he wants Greenwood to be effectively Sancho's backup on the right, but also Martial's backup as striker. That's what I would think Solskjaer would want. Hey, LC United, how's it going? Sonny Christopher, what's going on? Ryan Burberspin 9 says, smash a like, let's hit 300. Thank you, Ryan Burberspin. Yeah, if you're just getting in here like LC United or whoever, smash that thumbs up button, everybody. Get in there. Let's see if we can get 300 likes on the vid. Legends. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, lads and lads. I'm just going to read a couple more out, then I'm going to have to get on. Got to help my missus with something. But Matthew Bowe says, Glazers spent their money on the Buccaneers. Victor Davies, how you doing, Victor? Dwight Hastings, our front score 61 goals last season. With a better defence, we would run the league. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Greenwood, Rashford, Martial, they did score a lot of goals. But still not quite enough goals. I think Martial has to step his game up and get in the 20s. Rashford scored a good amount of goals for a left winger, though. So, yeah. Jamie Loki Jones says, I'm that confident there will be a here we go between 9 or 10. I'll block myself if we don't remember this. Don't block yourself, Jamie, even if you're wrong, mate. Don't block yourself, mate. That's silly. Don't do that. But hopefully you're right. Lee Pandani says, Glazers should be kicked out. They are too good at disappointing their fans. Totally agree. They're absolute scum. Ian Barron. Hello, Ian. He says, hi, the Flying Pig. It's the Mad Darlington FC back. Hope you're well. Great to see you, Mad Darlington FC. Ian Barron. Yeah, I'm doing all right, matey. I hope you are too. Thank you for getting in here and stopping by. Jonathan Gallagher says, Daniel James is a sub pig. Absolutely, that's all he is. He's a backup squad player, sub rotation player. That's all he is. But he could certainly be the backup or the sub to Rashford over on that left-hand side. Nice one, Gikini and Kobo. Appreciate that, dude. Thank you. Harris Khan, hello to you, matey. Hope you're good. Gunshi says, Pig, you give us an enthusiastic, passionate transfer discussion, minus the bullshit of certain other channels. Gunshi, thank you so much. I appreciate you like what we're doing here. I was a little bit reluctant to do these daily transfer shows because I've talked about it in the past. I don't like necessarily talking about just sheer speculation, but the fact of the matter is this is a United channel. I'm trying to take this seriously, you know, and obviously people keep getting on at me. Do the transfer updates. So I've started to do them, and I must say people are watching more than ever. So obviously people do enjoy these shows. People do like to be kept up to date with all the latest news and goings on at the football club. So there you go, guys. That's why I'm doing it. I'm glad that you're enjoying these shows. I really do. And like I say, I'll continue to make sure there's no BS in these shows. Carl Lee Bennett doesn't think Marcio's good enough to be getting 25 plus goals. He does need to be getting that this season for me. If he doesn't, maybe we should be looking at somewhere else. Lee Fowler, good to see you. Shout out to you, bud. He says, hey, bud, new to the channel. Can I have a shout out? Loving the show. My voice is going, isn't it, guys? But shout out Lee Fowler, mate. Thank you for getting in here. Subscribe if you're new, Lee, and smash a like on it. Enrico Bully Baby says, it's me, Alex Enrico. Just ignore my name right now. It's a college thing. How's it going, bro? Hey, nice one there, Alex Enrico. Great to see you in here. Thank you very much. Ryan Mark Williams, Gungshi, Dwight Hastings, Jamie Loki Jones, Lazy D, Gregory Burke, Ian Barron, Jonathan Gallagher. Who else is there? Lee Pandani, Ellie, Gregory Burke, Jamie, Kayam. Matt Rush, Jonathan Gallagher, Cletus McYeetus, Gung Chi, Victor Davies, Pankaj Palwani, David Bratton. That's going to be it from me for the show today, lads and lasses. I'll be back later on, though. My evening show on this channel, if you don't know, is at 9:30 p.m. 9:30 p.m. we'll do another breakdown of the latest transfer news. There's often a lot of breaking news, like Jamie Loki Jones was mentioning. He's expecting between 9 and 10. There's often a lot of breaking news of that time, which is why we do the show in the evening there. 9:30 p.m. Come back then. I'll be doing another transfer show talking about some of the stuff we talked about in this video, but hopefully a bit more. Shout out Lee Fowler for subscribing, mate. Yes, nice one. Everybody getting in here who's watching right now, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel, everyone. Click that bell icon to be notified when we go live and when we post. Get involved. This is a great community of people on this channel. Get involved with them. Have a chat with them. Shout out Lynette Giggs, Anthony White, Ellie, Ryan, Mark Williams, Lazy D, Cletus McYeetus. Not that Scouser, though. He's a twat. Everyone else, thank you very much for getting in here. You're a bunch of legends. Appreciate you stopping by. Do us a favour and hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Follow the website, flyingpigunited.com. Check out the social media links in the description below. Have your say. You can follow me on social media, anything like that, if you want to, and tweet me anything. I'll try and respond to you on there. I use Twitter most, though, to be perfectly honest with you. So, yeah. Thank you for watching, everyone. Appreciate you stopping by. Come back in a few minutes when this video is finished and have your say on anything we've discussed in this vid. Come back, talk about Rakic, talk about Reguilon, anything you want to discuss, get it in there. It's a platform for debate. Have a bit of a debate in the not live chat after. Okay, that's going to be it from me. My voice is gone, guys. All this talking, these daily talking videos, it's just ragging my throat silly, guys. It is. I mean, what's going on there, man? I feel like I've been living in one of David Moyes' caves for a couple of weeks, you know what I mean? Hey, by the way, shout out Raja Kamaruza, man. I'm sorry, I missed your PayPal during the show, mate, but I've just seen you sent one. There's no comment to go with it, but shout out Raja Kamaruza, man. Get in there, Raja. Thank you very much, lad. Appreciate that, dude. Raja, everyone, Matt Rush, Cletus, Jamie, Brad Sowerby. I haven't yet, Brad. I need to watch All or Nothing. I'll get on that soon. Ryan, Ellie, legend. Pankaj, legend. Jonathan Gallagher, legend. Brad Sowerby, legend. Kayam, legend. Anthony Van White, legend. Okay, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, everyone. See you for tonight's show. And take it bloody easy. This is The Pig. Thank you for watching. See you later. Oh, no, Gunshi, I'm not having a glass of Old Rosie, mate. No way, that's the most sickening. I'm never having that again. It's actually disgusting anyway. Kayam says, too much tongue action, pig. Wouldn't you like to know, Kayam? Hey, thank you, Kayam, for becoming a member. Also, who else became a member today? Oh, shit. I've forgotten already, but somebody else became a member, didn't they? Bloody hell. Anyway, sorry, I've got a terrible memory, but thank you to everybody that became a member today. There's a few of you, so really appreciate it. These are also just the Patreon credits to say thanks to everyone who supports this channel on Patreon, and also tier 2 channel members appear on this list also. But just Absalom, that's right, Gunshi, thank you, Absalom. You're absolute legend, Absalom. Appreciate it. Thank you for that, Gungers. Elsa says, stream overs, latest, guys. Nice one, guys. Thanks for watching. You too, Brad Sarby. Everybody, big God Bob getting in here at the end, lad. Yes, mate. I don't know if you've been in here since. If not, sorry I missed your comments, but hope you have a good day, Bobby. Everyone else, you just have a great afternoon, and I'll see you literally in about 5 hours' time for another Transfer Edizione. This is The Pig. See you soon. Thanks for watching. Smash a like, and take it easy.